A veil of early morning mist still clung to Windsor Castle's towers when palace whispers began to swirl. Someone had breached the perimeter near Adelaide Cottage, home to the young princes George, Charlotte, and Louis. Few could have predicted that, just days later, the Princess of Wales would slip silently through those same gates, not for a gala or photo op, but to convene a gathering of experts on her early years project. In between, security teams found themselves exposed, shaken by the ease with which an intruder slipped onto royal lawns. Tonight, we pull back the curtain on a weekend that tested the very boundaries between sanctuary and spectacle. It all started on a damp Sunday before dawn. 1 minute, the castle grounds rested in hushed slumber. The next, CCTV footage caught a lone figure scaling an outer wall. He moved with surprising stealth, his silhouette framed by the moonlight, as he skirted the rose garden toward the private residence. A stray beam from a guard's torch flashed across his features, just long enough to reveal a look of desperate intent. Was he driven by grievance, curiosity, or something darker? By the time officers tackled him near a wrought iron fence, he was clutching a small satchel containing Class A substances, a chilling detail that hinted at more than mere trespass. Inside Windsor's ancient walls, the arrest sent shockwaves through every corridor. Palace aides hurried through shadowed hallways, exchanging urgent whispers about perimeter protocols and electronic blind spots. A senior protection officer confided, "We pride ourselves on zero tolerance for breaches, but this one forced us to question every sensor and lock." In the vaulted room where Catherine would later convene her meeting, chairs still bore the impression of rushed preparations, folders dumped on tables, coffee cups left half-drunk. The air smelled faintly of lavender, a scent meant to soothe, now tinged with unease. Then came Thursday, the day the princess returned to duty. Without fanfare, she arrived at the castle in a sleek charcoal coat, her expression composed yet undeniably alert. Every palace insider notes the subtle shift in her posture, shoulders squared, eyes scanning her surroundings with the watchfulness of a mother who knows how swiftly safety can unravel. As she strode toward the chamber reserved for her early years project meeting, courtiers fell silent, aware they were witnessing more than a charitable gathering. They were observing a statement of resilience. Inside that high-ceilinged room, glass windows offered sweeping views of manicured gardens now cordoned off in fresh yellow tape. Here, Catherine pressed neuroscientists and educators for breakthroughs. How could trauma-informed care reach every vulnerable family? Which policy levers could unlock billions in preventative funding? At one point, she paused mid-sentence, her gaze drifting to a warped camera lens on the far wall, and quipped, "Let's ensure our next generation grows up safer than we do." A ripple of laughter followed, but the undercurrent was unmistakable. This was a project born of passion, now sharpened by recent threats. As the meeting adjourned, the corridors filled with hushed speculation. Why had the interloper targeted this very spot? Was it randomness or design? Some aides whispered of a van seen idling near the East Terrace the day before. A vehicle quickly dismissed in initial reports, but now reopened for scrutiny. Others hinted at encrypted messages found on the suspect's phone, pointing to a fringe group with grievances against privileged elites. Each revelation deepened the mystery, and every new detail sent ripples through the castle's protective web. Meanwhile, in a private suite just off the throne room, King Charles pored over incident briefings alongside his head of security. His normally steady hand shook as he signed off on revised patrol orders and increased nighttime drone surveillance. "We cannot let fear dictate our lives," he murmured, eyes distant with the weight of a father whose own children's safety was imperiled. And yet, with every decree, his determination shone through, a monarch resolved to defend both tradition and the very people who make it possible. Back at Adelaide Cottage, a hush fell as the children returned to school, oblivious to the recent scare, yet unknowingly at the heart of a story that would shape the royal family's approach to security forever. Prince William, juggling state duties and family life, visited the site himself that afternoon, his usually measured voice edged with heartfelt concern. "We will learn," he told assembled officers, "and we will fortify every stone to protect what we hold most dear." His vow echoed through the castle precincts, a promise to transform vulnerability into vigilance. By evening, Windsor's gates clicked shut, and the castle's highest towers gleamed under a watchful moon. Yet within the palace, another kind of gathering took shape. A hushed summit of senior royals convened to discuss the breach, its motives, and the palace's next steps. Princess Anne, ever the embodiment of duty, arrived with a stack of hand-annotated maps and proposed new guard rotations. Catherine, still in her coat from the morning, sketched out a communication plan to reassure the public. And William looked on, his quiet gravity reminding everyone that the monarchy's future rests, not just on protocol, but on human courage. In the smoky glow of oil lamps, they debated trade-offs: fortress or family home, visibility or vulnerability. Each argument unfolded like a scene in a grand drama, every gesture laden with unseen stakes. When at last they concluded, the palace seemed to exhale, a collective commitment to adapt, renew and protect. As dawn approached again, Windsor's silhouette softened against a sky turning pale. The moat's waters mirrored the dawn's glow, and yet beneath the castle's serene exterior lay the memory of intrusion, proof that even legends must guard their walls against the unexpected. For Catherine, who that very morning championed the boundless potential of childhood, the weekend's lessons cut both ways. The promise of secure beginnings must be matched by ironclad resolve. In the days ahead, cameras will catch the Princess of Wales's every visit to nursery schools, playgrounds, and family centers, each appearance a reaffirmation that no scare can derail progress. Security teams will refine their systems, and palace watchers will dissect every new patrol pattern. But beneath the headlines, a deeper story unfolds, one of a modern monarchy that, when confronted with danger, chooses to meet it not with retreat, but with steadfast purpose. Indeed, the next chapter of this unfolding drama promises even greater suspense. Rumors persist of a follow-up inquiry to be held at Buckingham Palace itself, a closed hearing where advisors may testify on the castle breach and propose sweeping reforms. There are whispers that external security consultants from GCHQ have been drafted in to simulate further intrusions, testing every fence, door, and camera still trusted to stand between the royals and the world beyond. Should such drills reveal new vulnerabilities, the period of reflection and the story we tell will only deepen. So, dear viewers, as we close this chapter on a weekend of both peril and perseverance, ask yourself, how do you turn fear into fuel for change? Will Catherine's quiet courage, mirrored by her family's united front, redefine what it means to protect the next generation, both within palace walls and beyond? And when the next unexpected twist emerges from Windsor's storied stones, will the monarchy stand resolute, ready for whatever comes? Stay tuned, for this is a tale still being written in marble corridors and moonlit gardens. Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss a single moment of this gripping royal saga. Until next time, thank you for watching, and for holding a space in your hearts for a family whose every step is both a duty and a discovery.